Hi. So stoked you're here. So I'm gonna hop right into this, introduce her, and we're gonna get going and ready for her to slay because what Kristina does best is drop it like it's hot, and just kidding, but like tells you exactly. Um, just she'll tell you exactly how it is, and that's what I love about her is that she's kind of in your face, but in a nice, loving way. Um, um, uh, so I asked Kristina to be on the call because, Kristina and I have gotten to know each other pretty well in the last X amount of years. I don't even know, a couple years. And she just happens to be in my downline, but I just love her hustle. I love how she has this community and this team that she has just created, and it's been such an awesome thing to watch. But the truth is she doesn't she doesn't really care if I say this, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. But like, I asked her like her information, and she doesn't really care if all these accolades. What she cares most is that her team succeeds, and that she sees you guys show up every day and push yourself to your potential, which is why she's such an awesome leader. So, but just to share this, she is a 6-star diamond in her first business center. She is a 2-star diamond. Is it 2? Okay, yeah. 2-star diamond in her second business center. She's a 1-star diamond in her third business center. And
role, husband.
Third,
we're popping.
Just kidding. Third, that she hasn't even popped diamond yet. Her third is Bill. Bill works really hard. Okay. But that being said, and she's also in the top 15 in the company. That being said, all of that doesn't, whether you know what that is or not, it just means she's producing I almost cussed right there, so sorry, a bunch of leaders, and she's getting them excited and helping them, and the girl pops so many emeralds and so many people every week. I'm like, ask her, I'll send her messages like, girl, what is happening like over here? Like, it's crazy. It's so exciting to watch. So we have the pleasure of having her on here. She's going to drop some little truth bombs about social media, and I'm super excited. Get your pens out. Get your papers here. Get ready to be inspired. It's been an awesome getting to know her just as a person, and I'm super excited to hear this. Kristina, you there?
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for adjusting the time. Ken, I absolutely love and adore you. As you can tell, I don't even know what color my hair is right now. It's soaking wet, and I just flew home, and we're apparently getting a storm here. But I made it home, and by the end of the call, maybe we'll know what color we're going. But I'm stoked to chat social media, because there's so many different changes that are going on right now, and I feel like everybody goes into this rut. And I'm not someone who is there kids on here. You know me, that me not swearing is gonna be really, really hard. But I'm not someone who is going to complain and whine about changes that are gonna happen. I mean, I might bitch a little bit, but I'll navigate through it. And that's something that I'm very firm on with my team, that I don't care what gets thrown at you, you figure it out. If you guys knew some of the stuff I've dealt with in this business, it has not been all roses and daisies and unicorns. It's been hard. But I show up and I navigate through it because I want to be successful. And I'm in another training, and they just kind of called me out, as a couple top leaders called me out and was laughing, because in the video I was like, if you want a hardcore paycheck, you got to do hardcore things. And it just came out of my mouth, and I didn't mean it. And they were like, that's amazing. And I was like, well, I kind of just dropped the mic on my work ethic, because I'm someone that we'll just figure it out. And I'm telling you guys, in this business, it's an incredible, amazing, everything type of an opportunity. But if you sit there and you woe is me it, you're digging your own grave. You have to navigate through it and figure it out, right? And by figure it out, I mean help more people. It's not something that this is going to be something you've never heard. But okay, so I don't need to tell my story, because who really cares? We're on here to talk about social media. And here's the thing. When I first started, I was like, okay, I need a massive social media following. This is because I didn't want to invite. I hated inviting. It was awkward. And until I figured out how to invite. So I'm like, I'll just get a bunch of people on social media. And that's what I'll do is I'll just like kill it on social media. And I already had a large following on my Instagram account because my kids were Instagram reps and models, but that was branded that way. So if I put my own face on it, I would lose hundreds of followers within 15 minutes. Like I've timed it before. So my traction, my Instagram, although it's large, is almost half of what it was when I first started becoming a coach, because I've gotten rid of, so not me personally, they got rid of me, people that just weren't my people. People weren't interested in what I'm doing. And that can be a gut check, but it also is good because you're wearing down and finding your niche market, and you're honing in on people that actually like you, and you will probably like them. So don't get so hung up on the numbers. Sarah knows that I'm probably going to go in on her for a second, because with, yes, you want to gain traction and stuff, but like my team, we have like this new thing that Sarah trademarked that get to 1 star before you get a comma. And what that means is you don't need thousands of followers to be successful. I just had Erin Hopkins, who's a 5-star elite. She has 1,700 followers, 1,400, I remember what she said, 1,400, 1,700 followers on her team. You don't need thousands of followers to be successful. You just need the right people. That's it. So don't make it your goal to always focus on building a following and building a following. Focus on the people that you got. Focus on your leads that are already interested in this stuff. So, okay, off my soapbox. So anyways, I'll go right into tips, because you guys know that the algorithms are changing, and I'll talk a little bit about that and how you guys can navigate around it. And if what you're doing is working, then keep doing it. Don't always jump ship into what somebody says that somebody's successful, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to do what that is, because it's not authentically you, and it's just awkward, and it makes it more strange for everybody following you. So my number one tip, first and foremost, is 100% be authentic. And if you haven't figured out how to be authentic, stop looking at anyone else's account. Stop looking at accounts. Be yourself. If it takes you longer than 30 seconds to come up with a caption or to post a picture or to filter a picture, drop it and walk away, because you're about to drop something that has nothing to do with you, and you're just like fabricating it in your mind. So if you're someone that's like, I need to post today, I need to do something, and it's taking you like freaking 3 minutes to come up with it, drop it, let it go, and walk away, because it's not you. It's not coming out of your mouth. It's not coming out of your brain. It's not going to be authentic, and it's just going to be fluff, and it's just going to take up area, and it's not going to have purpose or value to it. So find your authenticity within yourself, within the business, whether that's PD, whether it's just literally just whatever comes out of your head, let it filter out through your mouth, onto your thumbs, and post it. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to be anything that you're not. Be yourself and get comfortable with being yourself. And I know that takes a long time. Trust me, I just had my first epiphany like in Florida this past week that really honed in on me being okay with being myself. So this might not just happen over time and you're like, I'm trying to start out in the business. I'm trying to figure out the business. That's fine, but figure out you first and the business will follow. I promise you on that. So authenticity, don't be a Stepford Beachbody coach. And this goes with, and I mentioned this, that when I first started coaching, I followed Anita Meyer, and I didn't follow any Beachbody coaches, but I found Anita Meyer and I started following her, and she had a call to action post, and it had like hundreds of thousands of people that commented, I'm in. That was back in the day when you could drop a post and people were like, I'm in, I want to join your challenge group. And I was like, I don't know how to invite, and everyone's telling me I need to invite. So like, this must be the way. And so I took it, I tweaked it and put it on my page, and my mom and my aunt liked it. That shit's embarrassing, because I'm like, thanks for the traction, but that's not going to get me anywhere in this business. And I couldn't figure out like, where's the disconnect? Like, how did she do so well and mine like totally just tanked? I'm like, because I don't talk like that. That's not, and anyone who knows me that was following me at the time, because they're all people I knew, like, who are you trying to be? Like, what are you doing? So I learned really, really quickly that you just have to be yourself, and that's going to take you far. So don't fall into that Stepford Beachbody coach trap. Don't fall into somebody dropping on Beachbody 411 page that this script, this something, this whatever works. It's not you. That's what's working for them. And I'm sorry, but you want to talk about people saying like that the market's saturated. The reason why people think it's the market saturated is because people aren't connecting, because we all look the same. Like, how many of you post a picture like this? Or with your shaker cup? They're everywhere. No one cares. You can spot a Beachbody coach post out of anywhere. I don't ever want to fall in that category, and you should either, because you're yourself. You're not defined. You're partnered with Beachbody. You aren't Beachbody. You are yourself. So authenticity is like my number one first thing when it comes to social media. And my phone keeps going off. I don't know why. Tip number 2, and this is going to sound like really stupid, but I think it's like the biggest and best tip I can give you. Wipe off your damn screen. Like 100%. Like people think it's not a big deal, but I can like spot a greasy screen from like a mile away because your pictures aren't clean. They're not crisp. They've got, and even if you think that it's clean, like always give it a little swipe. It takes 2 seconds before you drop a selfie. Always swipe off your phone. Yeah, that's like number 2. Number 3 is, I don't see any kids, stalk your own shit. So stop worrying about what everybody else is posting and stalk your own page. If your Instagram, if your Facebook does not entertain you, does not get you second guessing like, oh, what did I write in this picture? Oh, this picture was really cool. I should save this for another post another time. If you're not stalking your own stuff and finding amusement, nobody else is going to either. So you really need to pay attention to your content. You have about 5 to 15 seconds, depending between Facebook and Instagram. Or Instagram is literally, they're going to look at your screenshot of your page, and whether it looks something appealing or not to them, whether it vibes with them or not, is going to depend on whether or not they're going to follow you. Facebook, you have a hot second that people are just going to scroll for a quick second and see if you vibe with them at all. But realize that nobody's looking at your words initially. They are looking at your pictures. So I know that people don't like this and they don't like to hear this, but your shit has to be pretty. And I don't mean you yourself have to look all done, but your quality of pictures should be good. Like look at other people that you follow. I can guarantee you do not follow like any coaches, any accounts, anything that have crappy quality pictures. This doesn't mean you have to have a diva light, or you just need to be able to get in front of a window. You need to be able to wipe off your screen. You need to be able to have a steady hand. It doesn't take anything like crazy. It's simply you just taking the time and effort to post a quality picture over something that you took off Snapchat and put like the dog filter on it, and you're going to post that on your social media. Like that's annoying, right? Like, does anyone care to see somebody with like a dog filter? Like it's cute when you're like going through and hearing them talk, but you don't need to see it on Instagram. Sorry if I'm a little harsh. This is just me. So those of you that aren't on my team are like, she's a bee. I'm not. I'm actually like just super passionate about this. So realize that when you're looking at the pictures and you're looking at the quality of the pictures, can you look at that picture and be like, I can kind of get a grasp of what that story is going to be on that picture? Because if you're posting a picture where you are, you're sitting there like this and you're like super depressed, one, I don't even want to read your caption because you're going to bring my day down. I don't want to see like if I have enough negative crap in my life, I don't need to see like somebody else really depressed. Unless I know you're somebody that'll like flip the script on it, because I'll post hard things that I'm going through in my life, but I will always put a positive spin on it, because we are not here to bring people down. We're here to build people up. So yeah, workout might be really, really tough, and you might be sweating and your shins are sweating and you're so sore and all these things. But if you literally put all of that down without like but I'll feel freaking amazing in 15 minutes, or hey, catch me in 30 days when I'm like rocking my pants that I haven't been able to fit into since I was 7. That type of spin is going to turn that post around and get someone from being afraid to doing what you're doing to inspired to doing what you're doing. So when you're going through your stuff, make sure your pictures and your captions kind of match a little bit, and make sure that there's always a positive spin to it, right? And again, even if you're having a really, really negative day, find a way to put a positive spin. Again, we are here to uplift people and build people up. We're not here to like lay all of our crap. Like there's enough of that on social media. That's like a quick way to get yourself unfollowed. So tip number 4, know your top 5. And what this is your niche market. You guys heard of this before, like figure out your niche market. But I think people categorize themselves by what they want to be their niche market, and not necessarily always who they actually are, right? So for myself, this evolves. When I was pregnant, pregnancy was part of my niche market. When after I had my daughter, it was new mom, figuring out my body and all that stuff. And then now it's like just the hot mess mom, and it just is what it is. And if you're going to categorize yourself as a hot mess mom, you better drop something that like validates the fact that you're a hot mess. Like I was just doing a plank and I noticed my kid was peeing in the corner. Like Kiana knows this. I think this happened to her in a workout. You better drop something about that, because if that's one of your top 5 things, that should be in circulation in your post. And I'll get to that in a second. So I was hot mess mom. I'm sarcastic. Self-love, which I'm just going to throw this out here for you guys. There's this whole self-love phenomenon, and I think it's great. But I think that there's this line that needs to be drawn, and I think there needs to be a little bit more clarity of what self-love is. Self-love isn't giving yourself an excuse to be okay with where you're at because you're not willing to put in the effort to get better. And I feel like a lot of coaches have fallen into this where they're like, I'm okay with my roles and I'm okay with this, that, and the other, but they're not showing that like you're actually trying to improve that, and not trying to improve to get rid of your roles. You're trying to embrace your body, but you're bettering yourself every single day. And I feel like us as Beachbody coaches and, you know, fitness in the fitness field don't need to get complacent and use that as a scapegoat of why you're not getting results. Instead, use that to empower the fact that you are embracing your body in every stage of the game, but you are going to get into the most optimal, like best health as you possibly can, and not, again, use that as an excuse. But so self-love has become something that's been super important to me. I'm a fitness professional, so that's part of my market, and I'm very like no excuses. So in my posts, I will like call people out on stuff. And again, this changes and it alternates all the time. But at any given moment, if I'm struggling with posts, I'm going to go back to what are my top 5 things, and have I talked about every single one of those this week? And if I didn't, I'm going to navigate a way to touch base on each one. So again, it can change, and that's fine. If all of a sudden you start like taking up cooking lessons, you're probably going to start talking about cooking things. Like, again, let it adjust with you. It's okay to evolve in this business. You're not stuck in a box. That's the coolest thing about this business, is you define exactly who you are as long as you're staying true to who you actually are. So understand those top 5 things, and those are your niche market that you're attracting. So one key thing that I think everyone should do, and we've been doing this on our team, is going through your hashtags, because it's easy to like hashtag things because it just seems like a good fit to a hashtag. But do you actually look at the people, other people that are hashtagging that stuff? Like, I for a second went in this like, I'm that like introverted extrovert and very personable, and like if you see me out, like I'll talk for days, ask the Feldmans, but I prefer, like, you can also ask them, I'm not someone that like invite me to everything and I'll show up to like 1% of it. I like to be home. I'm like a 100% homebody, but I'm also personable. So I was like, I'm going to, hashtag introvert. That's like the cool thing now. And I'm like looking at these other people that are hashtagging introvert. One, there's a mesh of Beachbody coaches, because that's a phenom that's going on right now. So it's like, I get these like really peppy, perky, like Beachbody coaches. And then I get people who are actually like super introverted. And I'm like, they are not my style whatsoever. So I need to know that. So create your own hashtags and see if those people are people that you'd want to follow, those people are you want to connect, those are people that want to be on your team. And if it's not, keep going. Figure out different hashtags and switch up your hashtags all the time. If you're like hashtagging Fit Mom from UK because the UK, we had that launch, do you know anyone on your team that hashtag is Fit Mom US? We don't. So don't start hashtagging like Fit Mom. Yeah, that's one of theirs. But, really know what the hashtags you're using and make sure that it literally represents you. Even if you take your hashtags where they say, 30, and you dwindle it down to 5 to 10, if that's your niche market, those are the people you're going to attract. How awesome is that than getting all these like randoms that are coming out of like the woodwork because you hashtag hot mess and you're getting like Lord only knows what type of hot mess thing. So that's another one of my things. All right, tip 5, trigger posts. So think about the post that got you to enroll. Think about the post that, because it wasn't, I can guarantee your upline coach did not post one post and you were like, sign me up, $160, here it goes, let's see what happens. No, you probably followed them for a hot second, right? And then there was one post that it was like, fuck, she got me. All right, I got it, I'm done. Like, I'm going for it. So think about what that post is. That should be in rotation every week, right? So for myself, like, those of you know, Sarah's my upline coach. It wasn't necessarily like she dropped a financial post and that was something that piqued my interest beyond like, I hated anything Beachbody prior. And I was like, how the hell is she making that kind of money? Like, is this legit? And it was something that I knew personally. So it gave it more legitimacy to it, where beyond like I'd seen like other posts float around and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm sure you're making that much. With her, I knew that she wasn't going to drop something like fake. So that piqued my interest. But again, I wasn't interested in anything. Like, Sarah got me on the phone at the very precise moment of my moment of weakness that I signed up. Like, that's why, because otherwise I would have never, ever signed up. So it wasn't necessarily like posts, but I always paid attention to 1, the financial post, and 2, the transformation post, because I wanted to see if Beachbody was something that was long-standing, because Before Sarah, all I had seen was people posting their first transformation picture, and I never saw one again. So there was no legitimacy to Beachbody to me, because I saw the Hail Mary post, I'm a Beachbody coach, join my challenge group, and then no one would comment underneath it, or they'd be like, oh, awesome transformation girl, and that person would peace out because they gave up on life, and they like, who cares? Nobody commented under my challenge group. Beachbody sucks. It doesn't work anymore, so I'm going to quit because I didn't make $100,000 in 3 months. So here's the deal. Think about, what was that trigger post that you've been following your coach? What was that trigger post that got you to sign up? Because that should be in rotation for you every single week, because that's going to attract people just like you, right? So think about what that is and reuse it. And this is something that I don't think a lot of coaches do, is reusing posts. If you have a post that was like a hot post and it was something that gained a lot of traction, and not like, you have 5 to 15 pounds to lose, drop a heart emoji, like, come on now. But something where it's, you know, a topic that you talk about that's hard. Like for me, it's like an infertility post. I have the same infertility post. I reuse the exact same verbiage with a different picture about every 6 months, because it's going to, I'm generating new people to my page. I'm hitting in with my home market. And I have a lot of people with infertility issues that follow me. So every time, one, I want to show them support, and I want to remind people to like be really, really sensitive to people with infertility problems. But two, it's something that's going to gain traction to my niche market. So if you have a hot post that is something that's dear to your heart, that's something that's you, and you gain traction out of it, why not reuse it? Slap a different picture on it. I can promise you the same people comment on my infertility post every time I post it. They don't remember my verbiage. They just remember the fact that when they see that, it makes them feel supported. And that's what's important. So think of, if you have like special posts like that, save them in your notes and reuse them every 6 months. Okay. But where am I at here? So yeah, your trigger posts, we talked about that. And then how I tie social media in together. So with this, if you have, with these new algorithms, let me break this down in case like your upline coach has not broken this down for you at all. With the new algorithms with Facebook, there's going to be a dual feed. And the one feed is going to be your friends, because that's what Facebook and Zuckerberg's trying to get back to. And it's going to be your friends. And then there's going to be another feed that's going to be a business page. Okay. Now here's the thing. Do any of you care to click on that business page and see anyone selling LuLaRoe, whitening toothpaste, wraps, ads, like any of that stuff? You probably don't. Guess what, guys? We fall into that category. So what are you going to do now to start upping your traction to get people to click over there? Because it's going to take a minute for people to realize that they're not seeing your stuff anymore. So does your page have enough value on it to get people to write in your name? Because I don't want people to just see my posts because it scrolls up. I want people to search for me. I want people to come to my page to see what I have to say, not me just happen to be on there and they just throw me a like. I want to know that my page provides enough value that people are going to want to go over there, because guess what happens after that? They want to be a part of whatever I'm doing. So for me, with this dual feed, I think it's great, because the other part of it is, if you're someone who is inviting, dropping links, talking about talking about signing up for something, anything like that, those posts very soon, and they already are starting, are going to get trashed. I know we all shifted into this, like, you know, do an invite in every single post. With Facebook right now and Instagram soon to follow, those posts are going to be dead zone. And I tested this out the other day because I did an invite and I dropped my link in the comments, and I have a fairly large following on Facebook, and I ended up with, I forgot the number. I think it was like 16 likes, when I usually get like 100 plus likes on things. 16 likes, and it said that 216 out of 150,000 followers saw that post because I threw an invite on it. And it was something that I was like, okay, the algorithms are starting to shift. And that's something that we need to stay ahead of. This is what I like about this shift, is it's pushing Beachbody coaches to be authentic. It's pushing us not to write the same damn thing. It's pushing us to be more lifestyle and get people to buy into our lifestyle and what we have to offer, rather than what we're doing, what we're selling, what we're promoting, what we're trying to copy and paste off another coach. So I actually like this change and shift, and I think it's going to weed out people that are sales marketing and just slinging for a product, and it's going to bring in true integrity as a coach of what we have to offer. And again, people are buying into your lifestyle. They don't care that you drink Energize. They don't care that you have a shaker cup full of Shakeology. They don't care you drink or eat out of portion containers, right? Because if they cared, they would go Google search it, YouTube it, or anything else with Beachbody or Amazon Prime it. That's what I did because I didn't care. But when I started buying into the lifestyle of how these people are living and traveling and these like girl boss tribes and this, that, and the other, like then that piqued my interest. It wasn't the products because I can order the products anywhere. So I actually like this shift. Now, if you're someone who is sharing your content from Instagram to Facebook, and what I mean by that is when you post to one, it automatically posts to the other. Stop that shit now. It is completely drowning you and it's blacklisting all of your posts. So I know that it's easy, but here's the thing. You want people to follow you on both, right? You're offering different things, whether on Facebook you have a free group or you're running events or whatever you've got, or you go live on Facebook, right? And on Instagram, you're doing your stories and you have different content that you're posting on there. If you're just sharing the exact same post back and forth, what's the point of someone following you on both? Right? So it's smart to market them differently. Now, I share probably like 85% of the exact same content. Instagram, because it's quick. Instagram, your picture's got to be clear, crisp, everything. I'll get into that in a second. But Instagram, I market a little bit different than Facebook. So my Facebook is my garbage plate. Everything goes on Facebook. I don't care. I'm not as picky about like photo quality and stuff because Facebook is about the numbers. Facebook's about getting more posts. I've gotten more strategic with the following that I've geared. So I'm speaking to a newer coach or someone who's trying to grow a little bit more so. Right now, I've kind of cut myself back where I post like once a day, sometimes twice. As a newer coach, hands down, you got to be posting 2 or 3 times a day. But make sure the posts are valuable, right? You're not just going to be like, just did 21-day fix. Like no one gives a shit. But guess what? They're going to care about how you feel. They're going to care about your results. They're going to care about that transformation. So here's the thing. One thing I'm going to talk about with Facebook, with Facebook, again, it's my garbage plate, but I'm not running my personal challenge group on there, right? Because, and what I mean by that is if all of your posts if you swiped out Beachbody, right? Swiped out Beachbody from all of your posts, what would you have left? If you have nothing but Beachbody content, nothing that, if your page literally looks like an accountability group for one of yourself, of you doing everything Beachbody, there's no reason for people to follow you because you're just running your own personal challenge group, right? What about your lifestyle? What other value are you giving? So really think about that. If you swipe Beachbody away, what value are you providing people to keep coming back and seeing what you're doing to buy into it? Because if you're someone like myself, I'm not interested in what anyone other product's doing. If you're following someone who's selling Thrive or whatever, Lavelle or whatever it's called, if they're posting like really cool content and it's fun and it's different, you follow it and they sprinkle in a little bit of their like sales and you just scroll past that. You're like, whatever, like, I don't care. You're going to follow them though, because they're adding value to your life. You like the other stuff they're posting. If all their marketing is their products, that's going to be boring. You're like, I'm not interested in that, so I'm not going to follow them. So think about that. If you swipe Beachbody away, what do you have left? Okay. So Facebook, I'm going to throw more content on there. I'm going to maybe show a little bit more of my Beachbody stuff. I'll never use the word Beachbody. You'll never see me use the word Shakeology. You'll never see me drop, if someone says, oh my gosh, what program are you doing? It's my boot camp. It's my Epic Shred boot camp. I will never say I'm doing 80-day obsession. What would be the point of our conversation? Or I'll be like, girl, I'm sliding into your DMs, just like 3, 2, 1, right for it. I will never post about what I'm doing because I want to have that private conversation so I can get to know them and make sure that 80-day obsession is even something that's good for them right where they're at right now, right? But so Facebook, again, use live. Live is going to bring your traction up. Live is something that you have to be doing right now to keep yourself relevant, to keep your page relevant, for people to get to know you. So definitely come up with topics for live. I challenged my team and I actually sucked at it in February. I think I did it like twice, but last time we did it, I was like, go live every day. So challenge yourself, give yourself, I have to go live 2 to 3 times a week. And even if you're awkward as shit, like call yourself out, be on there and be like, dude, this is so awkward for me, but guess what? I'm here to grow. And so I'm showing up and hopefully you guys will like drop me some love. So this isn't as awkward for all of us. Call yourself out. you know, people appreciate that authenticity, and they're going to give you more love if you are true and raw than if you're trying to like fake it till you make it when it comes to something like live. So Instagram, something that clean, crisp, save your pretty photo quality for that, save your good stuff for that. Like go through your feed and really like, honestly, like when you're scrolling through Instagram, what do you double tap? You don't stop and double tap a picture of a paper plate with like perfectly portioned food on it on a dirty placemat. You like something that looks pretty, right? So your Instagram, like, I'm sorry if someone feels differently, but it has to be pretty. If I look at your accounts that you have to follow, right, that you like are drawn to, they don't post crappy quality pictures. So Instagram's something quick. I typically try, but not, it doesn't always work that way, but I post more of my family and lifestyle on Instagram. I don't post my kids typically their face on Facebook. So I know if people are like being nosy and they want to know more about my lifestyle, they're going to follow me on Instagram because I'm going to post about it on there, right? And I'm going to try and shorten my captions because on Instagram, they want quick. They don't want to read something. They don't want to click see more. They want quick. So I try to like shorten up my captions or change my captions and make it something quick. And I post a little bit less on Instagram because Instagram, people just don't want that like clouded feed. Instagram is quick. Like you look at Instagram and you can tell real quick if you vibe with someone or not and if you want to follow them or not. So be strategic on what you're posting on Instagram, how you're posting on Instagram, and try to make them a little bit different. Try to add different content in different places. Instagram stories, if you are not doing Instagram stories, you are batshit crazy. You have to be doing Instagram stories and 5 minimum. Like there's like no joke. If you're like, this gives me anxiety. Like I can't even watch people when the squares are like this little and I know there's like 20 stories. I will take the time to X out of that one and swerve onto the next one. Like I don't even have time to sit there and do this and just go through it. So make sure when you're doing Instagram stories, you have a minimum of 5. You're talking about different things, not just Beachbody. You're providing value, right? And use that as your sneak peek. That's a perfect way to give a sneak peek into your boot camps, a sneak peek into your free groups, a sneak peek into your lifestyle, sneak peek into coaching. Like this would be a perfect one to be like, hey, jumping on a team training, so stoked that I can do this in my sweatpants. Boom. Who else likes to work in their sweatpants? There's a poll. You can reach out to all those people. You should always be using Instagram stories to drive your business. That's a huge driver right now. Try to keep, if you have something to say, try to keep it 3 to 4 stories max. And what I mean by that is when someone sits here like this for like 10 stories, I'm like, I don't have time for that. You don't have time for that either. So make it quick. So whatever you have to say, get it done with in 3 or at least change positions. Just don't pace because what happens when you pace, you're actually spinning when it comes to Instagram stories and you're going to make people dizzy and they don't want to be dizzy. So make sure you keep your content quick on stories because again, everybody we live, like if you're a New Yorker, you want things quick. You don't want to sit here and watch things. If you're doing workouts and stuff, that's great. Make it entertaining. There's nothing worse than someone doing a plank and they're like doing something. They're like this. Like, is the timer up? Is it 14 seconds yet? It's so awkward. It's like, girl, why are you looking at the camera unless you're like lip singing at me? So make it entertaining. Stalk your own shit. Go back through and see. Like I like create my own stories like several times a day. I'm like, that was funny. Like my kid just did that. Like that was cute. So make sure that your content is something you would want to follow, right? I'm going to keep cruising. Sorry, I think I'm going over. YouTube, Pinterest, Snapchat. YouTube is something that you can take any of your live videos, any of your trainings, anything that you do and drag it over to YouTube and start like a vlog, right? A vlog style where all of your stuff is uploaded. It doesn't have to be something profound. People follow people on YouTube. People like will creep your stuff and they're like, oh my gosh, she's funny. Like, or, oh, look at these workouts or, oh, look what she has to say. Like, definitely utilize YouTube. It's something I'm working on, but don't get yourself to the point where you feel like you're so stretched out. If you like are awesome on Instagram, just stick to Instagram. You don't have to be using all these different platforms. You're going to find your people or your people are going to find you if you're posting enough valuable stuff. So don't get so like, well, this person uses this. Who cares? Like I would love to use YouTube. I'm lazy. That's what it comes down to. I'm lazy when it comes to YouTube. So that's why I haven't perfected YouTube. But guess what? I hustle my ass off in the areas that are working for me right now. So that is that for that. And then I just got a couple other things and I'll be done. Social media is a way to get you to people to feel what you're doing, right? Because if they didn't care about your lifestyle, they didn't care about anything, then they just cared about the products, again, they would just go to Amazon, YouTube, like whatever. Social media is a way for you to bring people in to get the vibe of what you have to offer, to make them understand who you are as a person, who you are as a coach, what you can do for their life. It's a way for you to get the people all in their feels. You want to get people to buy something. You want to get people to invest in their life. You want to get people who are stoked to do something that you do. Give them all the feels of what this is doing for you. If you guys didn't give a shit about your business, you would not be on this call right now, right? So figure out the profound effect of what this business has done for you and share that with people and give them the feels in a different way every time, right? Make sure you understand that it takes time and consistency. And this is something that I mentioned. So like my coaches will be really annoyed because they've heard this like 90 times. But think of the first time you've ever seen a Beachbody infomercial post, like anything, right? Or your coach post or whatever, and the time it took you to actually enroll. Okay. I always say 4 years, but it was probably like 10 since like PDX and like the dungeon. But like, as far as like social media posts on Facebook, the first times like I had seen like people, or maybe it's the first time that coaches actually started reaching out to me and inviting me to the opportunity was probably 4 years. So I know for myself that if people say no, and Aaron Hopkins just said this on a call and it was super profound for a lot of people, no's mean jack crap about your business. No's do not push your business forward. No's don't slow your business down. You slow your business down. No's are people that aren't ready yet. That's on them. That's not you. You offer the opportunity. They said no. Who gives a flying rat's ass about no's, right? Those no's will come around. If you keep showing up, those no's will come around, okay? But you got to keep showing up. It's all about that time and consistency. So in that 4-year span where I had seen Beachbody Coach post until the date that I signed up, what if Beachbody itself went away? What if coaches went away? What if somebody stopped inviting me to the opportunity? What if Sarah didn't call me on that day and got me on the phone? I would not have taken this opportunity. So I will never complain about no's, this, that, and the other about this business, because guess what? I'm giving up on someone like me. Because if I didn't have this opportunity, if I didn't take this opportunity and I didn't, wait it out those 4 years, whatever, somebody the same amount of time for 4 years, I haven't found a mini me yet. I haven't found the person. And if I quit now, then I'm giving up on someone that I could change their life like my life has been changed. And that's bullshit. And I'm not going to do that. And you shouldn't either. And I'm just going to like slay something at you really quick. If you're thinking right now, I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to try this out and see if it works. You are digging yourself your own grave, and you're going to F a lot of people over that you're going to help and enroll and then peace out on them because you didn't do what you thought you were going to do. If you're on this call right now, make the decision in your mind that you aren't going to try to make this successful, but you are going to keep showing up until you are successful. There's a huge difference because we get in that mindset and we get in all these setbacks. And I could tell for days about the setbacks I've had in this business. It's bad, the setbacks I've had in this business. But there never once was a time that I was like, this is hard, and so I'm just going to quit. It was, I will keep going until I can't anymore. And so I need you to make that, because there's nothing worse that makes me mad. And I'll like memorize all of your names, because there's nothing worse that makes me mad than when a coach tries and then gives up because it got hard. If you came into this business, make sure your intentions are right. Make sure you're a ride or die, because if you want to attract ride or dies, you got to be one, and people can smell when you're not. So I'll get off my soapbox on that. And then last thing that I want to say is, again, I said if Beachbody was gone tomorrow, what would your social media have a purpose? And the other one is, would you follow yourself? When it comes to social media, would you follow your own account? I know there's a lot of people, and I'm going to say this, be coachable. And if your coach doesn't do this, and any leaders on this team that have teams underneath them, every Friday, every Thursday, whatever you can remember, hey guys, roll call, screenshot your Instagram and drop it. And then critique your own Instagram. You don't need your upline coach to critique your Instagram. You know if it's good or not. You know if it's quality or not. And if you automatically go into, well, I do this, this, and this. Oh, I already am doing this. Or, oh, I'm doing this. You're not coachable. You're being ignorant. And you need to be coachable. And you need to realize, and you need to pick apart your own crap and be like, this is what I can improve on. Like, yeah, I know that this stuff is good. This stuff is working. But if you're not blowing it up, if you're not having great traction, if you're not getting conversations going, there's a disconnect somewhere, right? So critique your own stuff and not tear yourself down, but figure out where you can improve. Where can I help someone a little bit more? What can I talk about my story? How can I be a little bit more transparent? How can I up my photo quality? Maybe I should tweak my filters. Maybe I should change up my hashtags. There's things to do. And I'm not saying like, look at your account and be like, this sucks. I'm just saying be coachable and be like, you know what can I improve on? What can I do a little bit better on? And I think that is it. Sorry, I think I went over. Possibly. I think that's it as far as like social media. I don't know where anybody went. Am I like closing this out on my own?
No, I'm here, girl. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I had a little baby creeper come in here. I was like sitting there with my eyes wide open going, holy F, that, you know, I've been around doing social media for a while, but that was amazing. Kristina, thank you so much for taking your time. I know it's late for you and you've got 900 other things, including your own business you need to run. So the fact that you took time to do this for all of us, it was amazing. I hope you guys took notes. It's recorded, so your teams that didn't catch this, let their minds be blown. And if you guys got humbled, if you guys got a holy shit, I'm doing exactly what she's telling me not to do, change it, okay? Don't, regret anything. Don't, woe is me, my business sucks type of thing, but take it and allow yourself to be coachable and change it. Like do something and act on it instead of just like, oh, this was really great, and then not do shit with it, right? Like that wasn't the purpose of Kristina spending an hour with us, 45 minutes with us, giving us some amazing knowledge as to why she's so successful, right? So success leaves clues. We will close it at that because I want to respect everybody's time. Thank you again so very much, Kristina. We'll get the recording up so you can serve it to your team as well. Shit's falling apart over here. I hope you guys all have an amazing night. And I didn't want to open up for questions. I feel like you could be here all night. So thank you again. And your hair looks fabulous, by the way.
Well, it's getting kind of light. We'll see what happens when the extensions go in. So
we'll stalk your
Instagram. Thanks for the time change. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great night.